used to dig in the ground and find them.
Right. So we make, right, in childhood, terrified of it. All right. What's interesting, though, is that you're seeing, aren't you? In that sense of being prophetic. You knew exactly what he was going to do. All right. Could you describe that moment?
It was... I knew what he was going to do, but I couldn't stop him, and nor could I get out of the situation. I mean, there was no way I could remove myself fast enough.
You say you were paralyzed?
No, I was just too close and very... He was right there. Like, to move away, he would have put it somewhere else. He still would have put it on me.
No. So you couldn't stop him or move away, so then you accepted the conditions as they were.
Right.
All right? That's a state of mind. See, couldn't stop him or move away, and we'll get more information on that. Since it's a state of mind, I'm going to kind of circle it.
Okay.
All right? Okay, now, then he put it on you. He put it on your finger. So that's an action. All right?
And the way they were acting, I knew they were going to do it. Like, it was like when he found it, it was like, oh, it was like a joy in his mind that, oh, good, I know what I'm going to do with this.
So he had a kind of a joy, see?
Or a mischievous joy, you know, it's oh, goody.
Right. Mischief, he found something to do. Great, great,
I don't know what
great,
to do this
great,
with this.
Great. So we'll signify that as we did before. All right. It was awful. He put it on me.
Yeah,
On my fourth finger. That's it. See, there's the same. All right.
and if you know what these bugs look like, they kind of grab. Like
Oh,
that.
stop.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. What kind of a grab is that, would you say?
Full grab.
Like what?
Well, like they have all their legs around your finger.
Okay. And
Oh,
put it on you. All right, that's the action.
Oh, God, I hate it too.
sorry.
Right,
I had to
he put it on me, he did it, all right, and it clung. What was it? Come on, put words on it.
Grabbed.
Grab, come on.
Much like what you would imagine like an opossum, you know, or some animal that grabs their, can wrap their
Wrapped around.
finger around branches
Good.
and hold on.
Wrapped around. Good, 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 good.
So that you literally couldn't shake it off because it was too...
Right,
was it
couldn't
loosely
shake it
attached?
off. Yeah, what's that like? See, that's the action. Couldn't shake it off.
Well, he was attached.
Pardon me?
He was attached.
Yes, that's true. What was it like? You couldn't shake it off, and there he is. He's attached. You couldn't shake it off.
Well, I had to try another maneuver. To get him off would require force from another. Not shaking wasn't going to release him. He had to literally be pulled off.
Yeah, and the state of mind you're in at that time is, you said it was
Well, I'm going through
awful,
a lot
right?
of feelings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One is, number one, what it's like to have the thing knowing it's going to be put on you.
That's right.
That's one level.
Right.
Then once it's on there, I kind of went through several stages like, oh, what is this like? Oh, well, this isn't as bad as I thought it would
Yeah,
be.
well, see.
All my imagination and fears.
Yeah, okay, but at first, I want to see whether I have it right, all right? You couldn't shake it.
Right.
It was this, somehow all your fears came forth, right? It was awful is the way you described it. Right? And then there was the transition.
Yeah.
Right? So here we are with this awful, right?
When,
Awful.
when I knew it was going to be put on me,
Yeah. Well,
especially when I knew it was going to be put on me.
yeah. See, what I'm interested in seeing whether I can match is these words, this idea to the event. All right? That's all. See, I have two places I can put that.
Well, it certainly was.
Or we can make it a transition, that's equally true.
Oh, I see. Awful.
All your fear, remember all the fears?
Those were primarily at the time when they were going to put it on me. All the fears that came up, what it was like to imagine what it was going to be like
Okay.
to have that even close to me.
All right. Then I don't want this. I want this now as the action. All right. So this is really awful. All the fears, facing all the old fears, right? That's here. That's the state.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. That helpful? All right. Now it's on. You couldn't shake it off.
Right.
Okay. Right? Something curious then happens, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now here we have it in these words. Let me give you back the words and see whether you can put the state of mind on it. You said you couldn't have the fear of something because it was there.
Right. I mean, I noticed.
Like, you can't fear something happening if it hadn't happened, but it happened, you can't fear it, is what you're saying, right? So, you couldn't have a fear about something if in fact now you're facing that very thing because it's present before you.
It's on me.
It's on you.
Yeah. The very fear of ever having those things even touch me. I mean, now it's happened.
Okay, so the fear of it ever touching you. Now it's there,
Yeah.
and you knew it,
Oh, yeah.
right? So you couldn't have the fear, so you experienced something, right, at that moment, right? What was it you experienced? What was
Well, kind of a, it was a strange feeling. It was like, I don't know, it was like something in my stomach just said, well, it's not that bad.
Go ahead.
It's not as bad as your fears thought it would be.
Right, it's not as bad as you feared.
So it was like a gasp. It was almost like I gasped to recognize that what I experienced didn't really happen.
Yeah.
But then, what was it like at this moment? I mean, it's not my fears, so what is it like? What was that?
What is it?
Yeah, how does it feel now? I mean, you first of all, you didn't experience what you thought it would, so now how does it feel? And I noticed it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
But I would go in and out
Okay.
of the fear, like, oh God, it's still on, and now I'm going to have to pluck it off, and that brought on another set of feelings, like, oh God, how am I going to do that?
See, that's a future. Now I'll have to get it off.
Pluck it off.
Pluck it off.
That means I have to use another means other than shaking it off, and that meant for me to use my other hand, which means I would have had to touch it, grab it myself, which means I would even be more in contact with it.
Mm-hmm. 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 I'd have to remove it with my other hand. Right?
And more sensitively with my left hand, which in my mind was more sensitive to feeling the possibility, what